Welcome, everybody. This is the Phish Phry podcast. I'm your dad, host Bobby.
And I'm Oliver.
And today, where are we, Oliver?
At the beach.
We are at the beach recording this podcast. Been down here for the past several days enjoying it. Have you been having fun? Mm-hmm. That's it? Just mm-hmm?
Yeah.
So today, we are talking about
Billy Breathes.
Billy Breathes. Now, this album is probably one of my all-time favorites simply because it's the first album I ever listened to all the way through. Like, I just started working at this AV shop, and this was one of the albums that we'd use to demo speakers for customers. And so this is like really my first actual introduction to Phish. It's what I first really listened to, and then this album has been in my collection since 2004. So, what do you think about this album?
I like it too.
Yeah.
And especially that we're doing it at the beach.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. It's definitely got some beach vibe songs to it. Mm-hmm. So, let's talk about the album. So, this album came out in 1996. That was forever ago. Right?
Yeah.
Almost 30 years ago.
Wait, what? So you're only like 10 years old?
No, I was 15.
You
This will turn 30 in 1996.
Oh.
Yeah. So, this album, 1996, was probably the album that, like, went a little bit more mainstream. Like, not just in the jam band scene, things like that. It was more, like, more widely accepted.
Yeah.
So, on this album, we have Free, Character Zero, Waste, Taste, Cars, Trucks, and Buses, Talk, Theme from the Bottom, Train Song, Bliss, Billy Breathes, Swept Away, Steep, and Prince Caspian. There's a lot of great songs there. Mm-hmm. I can listen to this album first song to last song and just repeat it. It's so good. It's so eclectic in the way they, like, the order of the songs. Yeah. So, what would be your favorite?
Free.
Free? That's my favorite too.
And my second favorite is Character Zero.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I heard you the other day listening to Waste.
Yeah, I've been listening to it for the past several days. My first pick would be Free as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a great song, but I feel like some of it is just wrapped up in nostalgia. Mm-hmm. That there was the first song of the album that I'd heard. And then I think my second pick, it's probably Theme from the Bottom.
Oh, yeah. It kind of reminds me of, like, bouncing around the room. And
Yep.
It's like...
It definitely has that bouncing around the room vibe. I think those two songs, for me, just have always stuck out. Now, like I said, I could listen to the whole album.
Yeah.
But those two, I would go back to more often.
Yeah, I like Cars, Trucks, and Buses.
Yeah. I don't remember what year, because I'm still new to all the live albums, but there's one where they play it live on one of the live Phish albums, and it's really good. You like hearing them play that live. So, do you think you could hand this album to any of your friends in the fourth grade?
Sure.
And say, this is Phish.
Yeah.
Listen to the whole thing.
For sure.
Do you think they'd like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I think it's a pretty, cross-section album. Mm-hmm. So, I think so too. I think I could...
It does, like, connect with Lawn Boy a little bit.
How so?
Well, I don't know. It's just, like, bouncing around the room. Wait, isn't that on Lawn Boy? Lawn Boy or something?
I'm not sure offhand.
But I'm pretty sure it is. But, like, bouncing around the room gives me beach vibes, and, like, all of those, like, kind of connect.
And Billy Breeze gives you beach vibes. Yep. Well, it's helpful when we're at the beach. Mm-hmm. Have those beach vibes. So here's a side note. The song Waste, Come Waste Your Time With Me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had just started listening to this album and listening to Phish, that song Waste was almost played at my wedding.
Yeah.
Just because I loved the idea of it, of just come waste your time with me. Played at the wedding. Felt like a good fit, but we didn't pull the trigger on it. I was still too new of a fan, and your mommy was not a fan, so, which is okay. But I think this is probably the album I've played for the most, played for most of my friends.
Yeah.
If they've ever asked about Phish, this is typically the album I'll play. Because it's got some of the silly stuff. It's got the super creative, the super instrumental. It's got all of that.
Good, very good songs. I think this is one of their best albums.
Yeah.
Because, it sounds like they're playing, really hard. And it always does, but it plays, they're extra hard.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I think the song Bliss, it's just the instrumental. Mm-hmm. But it's got those vibes. It's good. I think that's a good beach song for me, too.
Yeah.
So, what are we talking about next week? Or in 2 weeks? It's from 1998.
It's Story of the Ghost.
Boom. Nailed it. Yep, Story of the Ghost, which we'll be talking about on the next podcast. I like this album a lot, too. I'm excited to get to talk about it. Anything else about this album that we need to talk about? About Billy Breathes?
I think that's it.
You think that's it?
Yeah.
One of our favorite albums, and that's all we got to say, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's it for this episode. Make sure you follow, subscribe, tell your friends and neighbors, your mom, and all your family to listen, rate, and subscribe. Follow us on social media on Twitter and Instagram at Phish Phry Pod. PH is all the way around. And then make sure you
come and surrender to the flow with us.